Hi, I'm Matthew Jerick, and in this very quick video I will demonstrate how to set up BIGIQ 5.2 CM for centralized management, but mainly for a security standpoint. Okay, so I will focus on ASM, on APM mainly, and a little bit on AFM. So in this environment I have a BIGIQ CM, I have a DCD. I will show you what is DCD. DCD is a data collection device. Okay, this is a kind of syslog server with an Elasticsearch. I have a BIGIP in DC1, data center 1. I have a BIGIP in data center 2, so it's not a cluster, two separated devices, isolated devices. And on the front I have a Win client, and on the back I have a LAMP server with many web services inside. So let's have a look on the BIGIQ itself. So BIGIQ is there, okay, it's a 5.2. My management network is on 10.1.1, the front is on 10.1.10, and the back for 10.1.20. So to make it work, you need a BIGIQ and a DCD. So my DCD is here. If you have a look, there is no tabs in the DCD compared to the BIGIQ. On the BIGIQ, I can see my devices, how to deploy, how to configure, how to monitor. So DCD is just a syslog server with an Elasticsearch to collect all the logs, all the information, and all the statistics. So this device needs a license, free of charge, but it needs one. It's called a logging node. So put the license on it in order to specify it is a logging node. Then it's a BIGIP, okay, it's a TMOS. It's a BIGIQ, but it's a TMOS, like a BIGIP, so you have to set up your VLAN, then set up your self IP, and then set up your gateway, okay? So straightforward, okay? So create everything as usual with the menus. Now, when it's done, when the BIGIQ DCD has a license and is connected to the network, you can switch back to the BIGIQ CM. On the BIGIQ CM, you need a license as well. Okay, so in my case, it's a virtual edition, CM max instances. Okay, so far so good. So set everything, your DNS, your NTP, everything as usual. Set up your network setting with a self IP address and so on. Okay, so for your information, my BIGIQ CM and my DCD discuss all together through the backend network 20. Okay, so 25 for the BIGIQ, 20.6 for the DCD. So on the BIGIQ CM, the first step to do is to discover the DCD. Okay, so go to the data collection menu, data collection devices, and add a new one. Okay, so specify the management IP address, admin login and password, and the data collection IP address. This is a listener for the DCD, and it is a self IP address. Okay, so the 10.1.20.6. okay, the default port is 3300. So when it's done, click on add, let's discover, and you should see the device appears here on the screen with a green bullet. When it's done, click on it. It's not finished. You have to specify the services used by the DCD. So the DCD can be used for access, so for APM, for WAF, okay, for ASM, and for WebSafe, the fraud. So as you can see, at the beginning, everything is inactive, like the fraud. And you have to specify the listener address on the DCD side, so not on the CM side, okay? On the DCD side, the DCD will receive traffic, so logs traffic, statistic traffic from the BIGIPs to this IP address, okay? So change IP address by the self IP address, okay? And click activate. Wait few minutes, few seconds, and you will see the service active. So it means that the DCD now is able to receive logs and statistics from APM, ASM, and WebSafe. Good. Okay, so now you have to discover your devices. Okay, so pretty simple, because the devices had a device, had an IP address. So the first time you start the BIGIQ CM wizard will ask you if you prefer to discover the devices through the management IP address or from the self IP address. In my case, I selected management, so I have to find the devices through the management. Okay, so I have two big IPs. One is .4, the other one is .9. Okay, so 10.1.1.9 admin. Okay, and add and wait a few seconds. You can create cluster in order to put devices in a cluster. Okay, it's not my case. All the devices are in standalone mode. So after a few seconds, you will see the big IP discovered with a green bullet, green flag. It's not finished. Click on it. Okay, click on this one. You will see just a recap. You can see the health. Okay, you can see statistic collection. Check that everything is checked. Okay, it's checked by default, but check the box you want for the CPU, the LT, and the DNS, and go to services. The first time, nothing in discover. It means neither LTM, APM, nor ASM, AFM, DNS are discovered. Okay, so you have to discover the service and you have to import the configuration. So do it one by one for every services you want to monitor and centralize configuration. So, okay, so you click on discover, you wait, and you click on import. Import will import the configuration into BIGIQ. When it's done, do it for the second one. Okay, and you can see the services here. Okay, and the data collection on here. So you are good now. At this moment, the BIGIP is monitored by BIGIQ, so you can send configuration to the BIGIP, and BIGIQ is able to read information, logs, statistics from the DCD regarding these devices. Now, on BIGIQ, you can manage your license. Okay, so in my case, I don't need a license, but you can add licenses like that with a base key or an add-on key. Okay, and you can add a red key pool. Okay, if you purchase a pool of keys, it's pretty simple. There is a software management as well. Okay, like a BIGIP. And let's move to the product itself. So, have two BIGIPs. Okay, the BIGIPs are up and running. They have some configuration. The configuration has been discovered and import. So now I should see some information in my BIGIQ. Okay, so in the configuration tab there is access for APM, local traffic for LTM, network for the network, and security for the AFM, the firewall, and ASM. And there is a shared security menu. It means something shared between AFM and ASM and LTM. So, first things to do very fast, you can check your virtual servers. Okay, so on my BIGIPs with a S, my two BIGIPs, I have one virtual server per BIGIP. Okay, so on the .4 you can see one virtual server, and on the .9 you can see another one. Of course, it's not a shared object because it has a specific IP address, and if you click on it you can make modification. Okay, or you can create a new one. Up to you. If I click on create, I select my BIGIP and I give a name, create, So VS demo mat, and I can specify an IP address. If you remember, my font is 10. Okay, so 10.130 port 80. Okay, so far so good. Protocol TCP. Okay, perfect. HTTP. Let's move. Don't forget the SNAT. Okay, where are you? NAT 64. Perfect. Okay, so we are good. Okay, you can specify the pool as well if you need. Okay, so in my case I will push to the lamp 20. So it could be a shared object. I will show you later on. 7 claw. So this one is not yet deployed. Okay, demo mat on the .4. So if we go to the .4, server, only the wildcard. So now I did a change, so I can deploy it. Okay, so to deploy it, I go to deployment. I go to evaluate and deploy. I click on the local traffic menu, and I will create an evaluation. It's not mandatory. You could create a deployment directly, but I would like to do an evaluation. Okay, so this is a new VS. Okay, I specify the group. So I have this group created already with the 2 devices. So I don't care. I put all the devices, and I click on create. So BIGIQ is doing an evaluation of the configuration. So it's evaluating everything, relationship, between all the objects, all the components. Okay, and it will check if it can push the configuration to the BIGIP. Okay, so it could take a while, few seconds or few minutes. Okay, right. So as you can see, if I click on differences, there is a new VS with specific configuration, HTTP profile, TCP profile, and you can see the configuration. Okay, TMOS configuration. Perfect. So just click on deploy, and new VS is pushing. Okay, so it's pretty simple, but you can centralize your deployment from here. Okay, you don't have to connect to the BIGIP anymore to deploy such a service. Deployment complete. So let's move to the .4. Here you are. Okay, 130, and the VS is up and running, right, with the right pool. Okay, so this is the LTM side of the BIGIQ. It's not the purpose of the video. Let's move to the security part. Okay, so on the security there is ASM, AFM, and APM. I will focus mainly on ASM and APM. If we go to APM, so on BIGIQ, you create access group. The access group is a group of APM devices, okay, BIGIPs. Click on it, and then you arrive to the configuration. Okay, so for the access group, UDF, I can still have 2 BIGIPs, the 4 and the 9. And I can now centralize my policies. So you can see this policy has been learned, okay, imported by BIGIQ. I cannot create a policy from scratch, okay, in BIGIQ. I need to create the policy first on the BIGIP, but then if I click on it, I can make modification now, okay? So I have access to exactly the same menus as a BIGIP, okay? So if I go to the active directory authentication, I can change the value, okay? I can change the branches. So I can do exactly the same things as I used to do on the BIGIP. So I can add new boxes. So for instance, for this one, if I want to add message box, I can add a message box. Save. Okay. And save. You can see on the top left, undo, redo, and revert. Okay, so it's not available in the BIGIP, but it's available in the BIGIQ. So you can undo something if you made a mistake. So okay, so I have updated the policy on my APM. So if I go to my .4.9 anyway, okay, let's connect back. I go to APM, policy Q1, IQ1 is here. If I do an edit, and let's do the same for here. This is my second big IP. It's not a cursor, I'll just remind you. Okay. So for your information, I already synchronized this policy before the video, okay? Between both, with BIGIQ of course. Okay, as you can see, there is no box, okay, in a fallback. So now, come back to BIGIQ. Okay, so I made a change. Okay, so close. Go back to deployment. Access for this time. Create an evaluation. Message box. Create. And wait. Okay, so it's done, complete. So you can see differences for the access and for the local traffic and the network. So of course for access we added new things, we changed some things. Okay, so anyways we can change the policy, we change the VS and so on. Anyway, click on deploy and deploy. Okay, so deployment complete. Let's have a look. Message box is on the .4 and message box should be on the .9. Okay, perfect. So I push modification to my two big IPs. Okay, so it's pretty simple and straightforward. Okay, this is the access part of API of BIGIQ. Okay, so you can modify a policy if you click on a policy itself, like we did, but you can as well modify the object. Okay, so if I have an Active Directory, of course I can have either a shared, so it means it's the same object for both BIGIP, or it could be a specific one. In my case, the Active Directory is not the same on DC1 and DC2. Okay, so I have an ADDC with 21 for the first BIGIP and 20 for the second BIGIP. Okay, so up to you to create a shared or a specific object, and as you can see, you find exactly the same menus as a BIGIP. Okay, with SAML, OAuth for the federations, of course, connectivity profiles for the VPN, network access list. We can modify everything. Okay, this is APM, and there is a nice monitoring for APM. Okay, if you go to dashboard, access, there's a very nice. Okay, so my BIGIP is empty, there is no traffic, but as you can see the license usage here. Okay, so access session, connectivity session, so CCU for the VPN SSL and the portal access, SWG sessions, you can play with the time and so on. Okay, so it's pretty cool. You can see application summary for all applications. You see all information in the federations for the SAML. Okay, so same things, top 10 client, top 10 IDP with successful insertion and so on. So a lot of information, a lot of reporting for APM. Okay, so you can follow exactly the sessions, the users, or they consume the service and so on. This is access, okay, for the dashboard. And there is as well event for the rest. I will show you later on. Okay, this is APM. Pretty nice, okay? Next one is ASM. So on ASM you can see your devices with ASM provision, okay? And you can see the policies. So far I have one policy, ASM1, in blocking mode. Okay, but let's create a new one. Okay, so it's an ASM, so you should recognize the menu, okay, with the information regarding the enforcement mode, period enforcement, and everything that you used to see. So if I want to create a new one, I can add ASM2, Okay, parent policy, this is called layup policy, available in version 13. Blocking mode or transparent mode, let's go for transparent with 3 days for the readiness period. Okay, perfect. Save. Tell me that be careful. Okay, but yeah, no problem. I have a version 13, so it's not a problem. And now I can see exactly the same menus as an ASM. Okay, so very cool. If I go to my parameters, for parameters I have exactly the same menus. Okay, great. So save this, the data guard, the URL as well. Okay, so you can see exactly the same as the BIGIQ. For the signatures, okay, the wizard is a little bit different, so you have to create your own set of signatures. Okay, so create your own set. If you want a set for Apache, MySQL and PHP, do it. Okay, do it yourself and then assign it to your policy and see the attack signatures. Could take a while to present everything. So this is the policy itself. Okay, ASM2 is here, transparent mode, perfect. Virtual servers. Okay, so these are the virtual servers used by BIGIQ security. Okay, so if I click on it, as you can see, there is no virtual server information except the policy to assign to it. That's it. Okay, this is just a menu for WAF, so you don't see anything regarding the virtual server for the destination IP address, the pool, the monitoring. Just do that. Okay, format, please push this one, and please do it as well for this one. Okay, okay, save and close. So far so good. Okay, so the signature set are here. So as you can see, I created a signature set for Linux, Apache and MySQL. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, you select in the list as usual, you can filter, and that's it, and your set is configured, and you just assign your set to your policy. Okay, so it's pretty cool. Where are you? This one, got it. Save and close. Okay, so now I have to deploy my job. So I go to deployment, evaluate and deploy, WAF. I could evaluate, let's do it. New policy from my DC in EMEA. Okay, my two big IPs are here, and let's do it. Let's evaluate. Great, evaluation pass, so I can deploy it. Perfect. I could check the differences, but of course it's a policy itself. Deployment complete, so let's have a look. Okay, so let's move back to ASM. I can see ASM2 in transparent mode, as you can see here, transparent. Okay, great, so it's push on the 4th, and it should be push on the 9th. Great, okay, so as you can see, I can push whatever I want to every product, every BIGIQ. Okay, great, so my push is push, and now I need to reserve the logs. Okay, so to do so, you have to create a log profile. So go to the configuration, And for every modules, you have to create a different kind of logs profile. Okay, so for access, it's pretty simple. There is a wizard. Okay, so you go to event log settings, and you can see mine is already set. If it's not the case, you click on setup and the APM will set everything for you. So it's really nice and easy to do. Okay, so the BIGIQ, we create the profile, the publisher, everything will be pushed to the policy for the logs. Okay, so great for that. For ASM, it's a little bit different. So go to ASM, shared security, logging profile, and create a new log. So I call it log all IQ. I selected my two big IPs, the 4 and the 9. This is the name of the fourth. And you can see the same menu as a log profile in the big IP. So check ASM, check the box for enable it, and select BIGIQ. Okay, so on ASM, this is the menu for ASM. Use choose TCP, and this is the port to use. Okay, 85.1.4. Add it with the IP address of your DCD, not BIGIQ. Okay, the DCD is the syslog. If you remember, this is this one. And on the self IP address 20.6, not the management. Okay, then I'll let you choose between all requests, illegal requests, as usual. Okay, so create the login profile and assign the login profile to the virtual server. Okay, so if you remember, we created the demo mat virtual server. We push it only to .4, so click on it, select your log IQ, push it. Okay, you can select a DOS profile and a SSH profile as well. Save and close, and now I have to deploy. So now don't do evaluation, let's go to deployment. Okay, so push log profile. Okay, deploy immediately to my group. I don't know which one has been selected, so I don't care. I select all of them, but only the one I have selected in my configuration will be used. I deploy, I wait, and I should see the log profile assigned to my virtual server. Good, it's deployed. So now I should see on my virtual server this one in the security side. I can see my log IQ on the log profile. I can see my SM2 policy assigned to the VIP. So as you can see, everything has been pushed by BIGIQ and never connect to the big IP. Okay, so last point, now if I surf, if I pass through my big IP to my web server, the big IP will send logs, alert, alarm to the DCD, and I will see them in the monitoring part. Okay, so if I go to not reporting events first. Okay, if I go to the events on the WAF, I will retrieve the event from all my big IPs. Okay, so here you can see I've selected two big IPs, but I can change it. And if I click on the one alert, so we see exactly the same flags, okay, at the big IP, and I can see the same information, but from a centralized standpoint. So you can see here, this is an SQL injection with two signatures, okay, and if I click on the signatures, I have more information regarding the signature itself. Okay, great. I can do the same here. If I click here, I have the super ID, the attack type, and so on. Okay, I can flag, so I can tag the alert. I can customize the fields, and if I want, I can create my own research. Okay, like an Elasticsearch. So I can do my own search to find my old queries and errors. Pretty simple, pretty cool. Okay, this is the event, so the logs from ASM, and I have the reporting as well. But reporting is more related to analytics. Okay, so if I go to application for the WAF, I select my big IPs, so 2 big IPs. It's a centralized management. Okay, I will select from the last week. I hope I will see some traffic. Not yet. Last month. Great, and I can see exactly the information I used to get from a big IP, and I see the drill down. Okay, so if I click on ASM, I will switch from policy to application, application to virtual server, and so on. Okay, so if I do like that, well, I have only one client IP address, so it will be poor. Okay, so very interesting from a centralized standpoint. Okay, I can see my reporting, my statistics. Okay, so you can see some rating for 3, some rating for 4, not rated. Perfect. Okay, very nice. And for 2 devices, not only one. Here we are, only a screen injection. Okay, 300. Okay, that's it for this video. Okay, this is a very simple video just to demonstrate the product and how to use it. Up to you to deploy a demonstration product, test it, and enjoy. Thanks, bye.